Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala khatimil anbiya. People often avoid controversies, and particularly intellectuals have a desire to be popular with their very humane and simple approach, and usually they don't like to have any controversial issues. I believe life is not just a matter of very smooth matter, but life includes controversies. And without change and variety, life becomes its flavor. Therefore, next few minutes we'll talk about a very sensitive topic, and for some it might be a bit annoying, but I believe that we should learn how to tolerate even difference of opinion. The topic we'll take up in next few minutes is fasting and jihad. Jihad has become a word which by itself is not welcome, and quite often not only those who may have less knowledge about Islam, but even those who claim to be good Muslims avoid to use this word jihad. I believe it's academic requirement and honesty to look on such issues and come up with a transparent view based on the Quran and Sunnah. Fasting, in my view, is a form of jihad. It's a form of jihad because it first and foremost educates a person in how to fight against his desires to take rest, to enjoy life, to have pleasure, and not to devote time in serious thinking. Similarly, it's a jihad because during this month of fasting, one may be invited for a beautiful lunch and a very well planned high tea, but during this month no one who is concerned about his iman and about his commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts such offer, and very politely and humbly tells that, well, in the month of fasting I cannot accept your high tea offer. Again, a matter of jihad, a struggle, fighting against the stream. Similarly, it is a month of jihad because in this month one is obliged to think about miseries of others. If people in Burma are denied of their basic human rights, if they cannot observe their religious rituals, if they cannot observe basic human liberties, and we think that we should keep silent, it's their internal problem, then we are deceiving ourselves. I believe talking about Muslim in Burma in fasting is a jihad because they are oppressed, they are denied their basic rights, and unless we think about them, talk about them, help them and support them, we will not be able to benefit from our fasting. Fasting for what? Just to avoid drinking water and eating a biscuit or an apple, or fasting in order to build that fiber which we call ethics and morality. Fiber of ethics and morality means that wherever unethical acts are being done, we stand against that, and that is jihad. It's a jihad because it prepares a person to use language against evil, exploitation and oppression, but not a language which is hurting, but a language which is challenging. Therefore, you find in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Sayyidina Musa or Moses that you and your brother should go and talk to the greatest tyrant of the age. When you talk to him, then don't use language of tyrants, but use most polite and most appropriate language. So the Quran says, فَقُولُوا قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. You go and use that speech which should be able to penetrate his heart, but not to make compromise on what is wrong and what is right. Therefore, today, if people in Burma, in Kashmir and elsewhere are oppressed, and we don't talk about them and simply say Ramadan is meant for making long late night prayers, then we are short of understanding the meaning of Ramadan. Ramadan has this dimension of jihad, and jihad means standing for the rights of people, supporting them as much as we can. And if we are not doing it, then we are making compromise. We are not trying to catch the spirit of fasting or Ramadan. Similarly, we find that the month also reminds us that in this month, on 17th of Ramadan, the Prophet, peace be upon him, faced a huge army of mushrikeen or polytheists coming from Makkah, about over 1,000 people, while those who were believers were hardly 300 plus. It was in this month of fasting that they actually had a warfare, which is one meaning of jihad. Jihad has various dimensions. It does not mean it has only pacific understanding. It has at the same time the meaning of having warfare against evil, injustice, immorality, obscenity. Shirk, Islamic understanding, or polytheism in the Quran and Sunnah is the rebellion against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided mushrikeen as well as Muslims with same sunlight, with same nutritious water, with same fruit and same kind of vegetation, same kind of blessings. And therefore, whether a person is mushrik or Muslim has basic human obligation to thank the provider. But if the person says, no, I am my own provider, I am my own boss, I am my own God, then this is a total rebellion against the ultimate creator. And rebellion should not be left to grow and spread, must be faced, must be corrected. Therefore, when jihad is made in the sense of warfare to correct this situation, it's an ethical obligation. It will be unethical when jihad is not made. When we make jihad, then we are fulfilling ethical obligation of correcting the people who have transgressed and gone beyond their limit of being humans. Humans should not act like God, but they should accept the ultimate creator of mankind. Similarly, there may be situations where Muslims are oppressed and attacked and they need to retaliate. Retaliation again becomes one mode of jihad. But it is totally a mistake to think that jihad is only defensive. Jihad is actually a corrective struggle to correct the situation, like a physician. A physician finds a person who is having some infection, and even infection has spread in parts of body where he feels one part need to be amputated. Then should a surgeon and physician, because they think they are pacifist, they should not touch human body at all and take a limb out? Should they allow the whole body to become cancerous and ultimately the person dies? Or to save the life of person, that much surgical activity must be done which can bring health back to the person. Jihad is that kind of corrective measure. When things become out of control and nothing else can save but use of force, then without any apologies, the Quran says very clearly, do not let oppression, exploitation prevail on land. Fight against it till oppression, exploitation, insecurity is completely eliminated. Therefore, jihad becomes a corrective process in which all corruptions are removed and society is brought to its natural pure state. In other words, when we are fasting, it is not just a matter of spiritual enrichment, it is a matter of gaining spiritual strength in order to correct society. Fasting is linked directly with human existence. It is not a matter of individual trying to improve spiritual power, but it is a matter of individual getting involved in spiritualizing the whole society. And that does not mean at the cost of materiality. No, materiality should be also equally given its place. One should have as much advancement as possible in terms of material well-being, but not to become a slave to technology or material benefit, but to use material progress for welfare and well-being of humanity. Therefore, in the month of fasting, an ongoing training for jihad is made, which is perhaps invisible. This jihad is not with swords and guns and atomic devices, but this jihad is with very clear conscience to eliminate what is wrong and oppression, what is unjust and fair, and bring in its place what is ethical, what is moral, what is suitable and beneficial for mankind. Therefore, this whole month of fasting prepares the spirit of jihad against obscenity, spirit of jihad against economic injustice, spirit of jihad against ignorance, and therefore spread of knowledge, dissemination of information, educating people by training and by inculcating in them moral values is the essence of jihad. This jihad is to be done at every level by everyone in society, and that does not make people violent, nor make them fundamentalist, nor make them people who terrorize others. All these terms are alien to the concept of jihad. It is neither terrorism, nor violence, nor a matter of extremism, but a matter of learning how to live a meaningful, ethical life, how to eliminate from society evil and oppression, and how to bring back peace, justice, harmony and balance in human life and society. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to learn from the Quran and Sunnah and try to have a comprehensive understanding of jihad, which is both corrective as well as defensive, and not just one side of the coin. It is a total concept, and fasting reinforces that, gives that kind of strength which makes all actions of jihad against immorality, poverty, hunger and ignorance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength to remove all evils from society, or at least marginalize them and substitute them with what is good, virtuous and healthy for human beings. Wa akhir rabbil alamin.